Hey guys, what's up? Emo Cat Dad here, hanging out with you, bringing you yet another edition of Emo Cat Dad Listen. If you're new here, what I do is every day of 2024, I've decided to check out a new band or artist. I check out 4 songs from said band or artist, give you my thoughts on the songs, give you my thoughts on the artist overall, and then I rank the songs. So far, we've been killing it, hitting all our daily goals. But that's because you guys have been helping me out with suggestions of bands that I should check out. This video today on, as you can see right there, Bury Tomorrow, was as a result of you guys' suggestions. So keep them coming. Even if you think of one while watching this video, drop it in the comments. It could sound like Bury Tomorrow. It could not sound like Bury Tomorrow. I'm open to everything. But since this video is specifically on Bury Tomorrow, I guess I should probably talk about them. So what do I know about Bury Tomorrow? Not a whole lot. I know they're a British metalcore band, and that's about it. I remember seeing an interview with the lead singer. I think his name was Danny. He was like in the military or something. One of the interviews I'd seen with him was during COVID, when he said that he expected the band to call it quits, but COVID gave them time to write some new music, and he got really excited about the direction, and they're still here kicking it, releasing a brand new album last year. But before we get to that brand new album, we gotta take a trip through their discography. Starting with their 2014 album Runes, I checked out Man on Fire. So, if you're new here, I'm not a big fan of long intros, interludes, or outros, especially if they're just music. And that's what we got here. It was about 40 seconds before the lyrics started, and really it was the same riff for 30 seconds before it got heavy, for about 10 seconds before the lyrics kicked in. So those first 30 seconds, not my favorite 30 seconds of the song, let's put it that way. So the chorus is solid overall, maybe even a little more than solid, thanks to mostly the clean vocals. I'm more of a clean vocals than an unclean vocals kind of guy, but uncleans work in the right circumstances. And there's a lot of unclean vocals here. So the clean vocals in the chorus was a nice little respite, but I'd be lying to myself it didn't sound just a little bit butt rocky. So I talked about the unclean vocals on the song. That's basically what the verses were. He did do a bunch of different styles, which was impressive for one person to do. At least I assume it's one person. But most of the styles just work for me. Not my preferred vocal melody, but try to end this with a positive. They kept the wheedly, riffy parts to a minimum, which I appreciate. I don't like too much wheedly. Not a proggy guy. I'm sorry. Don't call the cops on me. Alright, so that was off the album Runes. Let's go to their next album, Earthbound, and I'll check out the self-titled song. Alright, so my complaints about the intro on the last song, gone on this one. This track gets straight to business. There's no prolonged intro. The heavy music hits hard and fast right away. I really dug the hardcore elements in the song. There was these shouty vocal parts where they yelled out, "Our hope, our chance, Earthbound." They said it way better than I did though, guys. Overall, this song still has kind of the same drawbacks as the last one. Still kind of butt rocky when the clean vocals hit, but the mixture of the uncleans was a little better in this one overall. Moving on along to the 2020 album Cannibal, and I listened to Choke, which is their most popular song on Spotify, so hopefully it's good. So right away the vocals are more reminiscent of the first song, especially the uncleans, so that wasn't great. But the musical melody on this track is unbelievable. I'm still got the little monkey playing drums in my head to it. But the chorus was fantastic. They did a mix of clean and unclean vocals, and I really love when bands do that. The duality of both different sounds at the same time going back and forth. Sounds great, and this song was no exception. Alright, we made it through our travel through Bury Tomorrow's discography, and we made it to that album from 2023 called The Seventh Son. I listened to Abandon Us, which, again, just most streams on Spotify. That's what I went with. this one was similar to the last song musically, which I talked about how much I enjoyed the music of that song, so that's not necessarily a bad thing. But what I really want to talk about on the song is the clean vocals. This is the best clean vocals they've had. I don't get any tinge of butt rocky elements, but I do wish there was more of it. He sounds so great on this. I wish that in certain verses there was, a clean vocal part to kind of give that duality that the chorus of Choke gave us. But of course, this is a metalcore band, and we haven't talked breakdowns yet. The breakdown on this song ruled, and the mosh call was pretty good too. Alright, so overall my thoughts on Bury Tomorrow are, they're pretty good. I wish they did more with clean vocals, but they've definitely leveled up musically over the last couple of years, and I'm definitely excited to see where they go next. And one thing I didn't talk about any of these songs was the lyrics. The lyrics were actually very strong all the way through, so I anticipate that continuing, and Bury Tomorrow is going to write some damn good songs, I'm sure. Alright, before we leave, let's rank these bad boys. At number 1, I'm going to go Abandon Us. It was close, but I think just the clean vocals, which is generally my favorite part of metalcore songs, just sounded so much better on this track than any of the others. It stands alone. Number 2, I'll go Earthbound. This could have very easily been number 1, but the musicality just wasn't up to snuff with the others, and of course the vocals weren't nearly as good with that little tinge of butt rock. At 3 is Choke. This honestly could have also been number 1 or number 2. All 3 of these tracks were very close in my enjoyment level. I just wish there was a little bit more cleans in the verses, and that the uncleans weren't all over the place doing certain vocal styles that I'm not a fan of. That's what held it back and put it at the bottom of this 3-track run, unfortunately. And finally, at 4 is Man on Fire. It's not uncommon for the earliest song to be lost on my list, because bands just tend to get better over time. And I'm sure Bury Tomorrow would agree that their 3 albums after Runes were better than Runes. So I don't think I'm in the minority here. But something had to be at the bottom, and unfortunately this one just had the most issues for me. Alright guys, that's it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. You could have been doing anything for these 8 or 9 minutes, and you decide to spend them with me. I appreciate it so much. If you want to do something else for me that I would also really appreciate, I'd like you to cut my wrists and hit subscribe. This Emo Cat Dad is out, and until next time, I want to hear you sad.